Hey everybody, what's going on? This is John Mark, just sitting here with my main man, Quick. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to go over working the chest area of the body structure. I get a lot of questions about chest and how to bring out those kind of features that actually make it pop. Number one thing that we want to focus on is actually knowing what muscles are utilized when you do chest. The pec major, which is at the bottom, the pec minor, and your intercostals and your serratus muscles. So people really don't think about trying to stretch the fascia of things before they start to pumping blood in there. The foundation of most chest exercises are presses. But I utilize a lot of flies also to get the same effects as well when you're thinking about building, widening, and adding girth and thickness to your chest. The straight bar for bench press adds width and girth. Some thickness is involved, but most of your depth and the separation and sculpt for your chest is going to be with your dumbbell motion because it conforms you to the natural range of motion of your body. So we're going to get started with that. I hope you guys enjoy this. If y'all have any questions afterwards, y'all can always reach me at either on my Facebook page, John Mark, just send me a message, or a cut and dry email, cutanddragym@gmail.com, all right? So my goal is to go ahead and get the fascia of the chest stretched out first before I actually start to really pumping blood into the muscle. So number one thing that I see people do really wrong, man, they kill me with this, is how to execute a proper fly. Your goal is to make sure, set that down, that your hand and your elbow are aligned properly when you're doing a fly. Your arm is slightly bent, you come back, you pull forward. Notice that my bicep is pressing into my pec, allowing me to get that squeeze to get the muscle pump. As I come back, get that stretch. Notice that I'm not coming down too far either. So if I'm sitting here, notice that I have my back arc, my chest is up. I'm coming back, both elbows and wrists are aligned properly. Getting that stretch. If you actually look, see the muscles quivering. That means that I have the chest engaging like I'm supposed to. And it's a control thing. It's not to be thrown all around. Everybody's doing, that's too fast. You're not allowing the muscle to get the proper stretch. And then you're not allowing the biceps to drive into the chest to give you the contraction aspect of things. A close grip press. If you're doing a press, make sure that your elbows are in, driving your biceps into the chest muscle for your flies. Then you have another motion called a hex press. It's coming here, bringing it back up. See how the dumbbells are rolling in my hands? Right there. It's a little bit of an advanced exercise. Some people may have trouble keeping those dumbbells together, but those are your two alternative variations to make this exercise a little bit more challenging. And that's a cool one right there. Now that I've got all of that blood flow in there from stretching that, I'll go ahead and throw in some dips, okay? So I'll go ahead and put some weight on there like 18 pounds. Notice right here, I'm really not focusing on the contraction, but I'm really leaning in for that stretch, that fascia stretch that's going to allow me to get more depth. The more depth that I can put right here, the more when I relax my hands, my pec has that overall sweep on the pec. Once again, it's a control thing here. So right here, I'm gonna lean, tilt myself forward, come down, come up. Come down, come up. Notice I'm not going crazy deep here. Once I feel my chest get that stretch, I'm pulling back up, allowing a little bit of contraction on the lower pec. The normal range on this is about 12 to 15 reps on this one. I really like to do a higher volume of repetition on this because I feel like since I'm not going as heavy on it to get that stretch, I really want to take my time and pump as much blood in there as I can with as much control as feasible. One more thing, we'll talk about doing a decline fly. I love decline flies. I don't like decline presses as much because it puts so much stress on the front deltoid. Your anterior deltoid, your shoulders are really strong, but they're also a very delicate muscle as well. So you have to monitor the load that you put on them. So I'm set in, same thing again, different range of motion. Arms are hooking, come back, slow and controlled. So the objective is to always control the weight. Make sure that every repetition is consistent from the first to the last rep. Once again, arms are bent, driving biceps into chest. Right there. So here you can also do another close grip chest press right there. Or just turn it over and do like a 10 rep out. If your negative is good, your contraction's automatically gonna be good. Let's go ahead and do some pullovers, okay? Explaining why I went on ahead and set up everything from the chest press, the chest fly first, was getting everything basically warmed up in this area here, stretching the fascia. I'm not big on stretching before workouts, but now I really do try to go ahead and get everything in this area here firing and activated before I actually start doing my working sets, because you want to make sure that those joints and tendons are warmed up so we don't have to worry about any kind of injuries and whatnot. So we went to the fly, went from the fly to the dip. So we got the stretching and the blood flow. My chest trying to cramp up already. And we got the dips from a unilateral standpoint. Then we went and did more flies to stretch more, hitting this area right in here. Starting off, we hit more so here and here. We're running everything up now. From that right there, we're gonna go into some pullovers. That's another exercise that I don't see a lot of people doing properly because they may not know. So that's why we're doing these little things and workouts here, so that we can actually teach you more so about exercise science, the range of motion, and how the exercises are supposed to flow to get you that presentation, because it's almost like a dying art. Nobody really teaches these things. Nobody really talks about that. And we don't have as many gyms as we used to. We have fitness and wellness centers where you don't see a lot of foundation weight training anymore. You'll just see people, getting blood flow and all of that. But there's a science behind it. So we are blessed to be able to do this and have Garrett here to film this for us also. I'm going to show you the difference in a pullover for lats and a pullover for your chest, okay? Doing 120s and 130s and hey, that's cool, but if I can't control it, it really doesn't benefit me to grab a lot of weight. I normally do these with maybe the 80 pounds, 90s, but for information, I really don't care about showing you guys how strong I am. That kind of stuff doesn't matter anymore to me. It's about showing you the effectiveness of the exercises and being able to show the flexion of the muscle, because when you use heavier weights, sometimes you're not able to show that stretch and that contraction like you need to. So we're gonna grab this 40 here, gonna lay down, place ourselves on an angle. Notice that my legs are dropped down and my chest is up. So this is the difference in a lat pull down pullover and a chest pullover. We're gonna do chest first, okay? With chest, you're going to drive up. See, my chest has got the contraction. You're gonna stretch over, elbows are out, pulling here, back here. For a lat, you're just gonna bow your elbows out and stretch from this standpoint here, right there. That's for lats. Elbows in for chest. Lats once again, elbows out, catching it here, pull, there. I want to show you the range of motion on that too. It's different strokes for different folks. Exercise science teaches us that when you do a chest press of any variation, you never break parallel. Number one thing, when you break parallel, what you do is you force your anterior deltoid to come into play, releasing tension on the chest to accompany what you're doing from that range of motion. So we're gonna grab the 50s. This is a higher incline here. So what that's gonna wind up doing is hitting more of the upper chest that reaches around the clavicle. So the further back you get, the lower the engaging is, unless you change the position of your elbow when you press, okay? So right here, this will hit more upper chest clavicle. Leaning the seat back will hit more lower tier until you get all the way down to the chest where you're hitting more of the pec major. So we're gonna let the seat back one notch and we're going to work the upper chest. Deflection. Kick back, turn here. Notice my elbows. This is breaking parallel. I'm keeping my tension right there. If you look, I see how everything's trembling. That means that my pec has the flexion where it needs to be for me, and I'm right here. The dumbbells don't have to touch. The cool press. Breathing. Inhale coming down, exhale coming up. Only other thing that we haven't done yet is a dumbbell chest press. I'm gonna show you the difference in dumbbell chest press and an actual straight bar chest press next. Same concept. Always keep the dumbbells parallel. Keep that constant tension on the chest so that you stimulate the total area of the pec major and minor. And just make sure that you're breathing. I see a lot of people, when their muscles get fatigued, they stop breathing. The more challenging it is, the more I expel energy out of the body structure. So when it gets heavier, I will slow the weight down so I make sure that the muscle is getting flexion, and I'll send that oxygen out to make sure that when I inhale, my red blood cells are catching more oxygen and expelling out what it needs to execute the range of motion, okay? The thing also is people have trouble doing this here, getting back with the weight. So you always set your dumbbells on the edge of the knee. You let your legs lock in place, let them do the kicking. So once you get here, your weights are right here. It takes less time to try to fall back with them and wind up injuring yourself. Good chest press. Right there. Don't break parallel. Feel what you're doing. Execute what you feel. Notice that my biceps are driving into my chest as I press. That's how the chest comes up. I'm gonna drink some of my shake. This is intra-workout shake here. So what this is 30 grams of BCAAs, 10 grams of EAAs, and a carb-based drink called Demo Day. Y'all can get it at Max Fit. It's awesome. That's a Max Fit nutrition cup too. Brett Jones, a really cool friend of ours. Like I was saying, we have a supplement company here, but we still support him because he really does carry abstract products that you really can't, that we can't get access to. So he's been doing great with that. I'm gonna sip a lot, a bit more of this, just because your BCAAs is your muscle shield, and your carbs are basically what the body utilizes to keep pushing with. So when you'll get on diets, I mean, body kind of needs carbs. Not saying anything about fat dieting and what's right and what's wrong, but your body needs carb daily to function. I still haven't drunk any of that yet. I will in a minute. I'm gonna throw a plate on here. Nothing major. So with this, number one thing that exercise science does teach is that the bar never touches your chest. We accept that. Now, some people have different theories and feelings about that, and I'm okay with that. For me, the bar touching my chest never works. The reason why is because of the range of motion when you're trying to keep flexion on the chest muscle. The front deltoid will come into play more and get more stimulation than your chest if you let the bar touch it. There's a line here on the bar. I don't never go wide. I don't never come too close unless I'm trying to work a different muscle group. But I keep my pinkies on the line. There ain't no secret to making a wide chest. It's what you do outside of your bench pressing. Your width shouldn't more so come from a straight bar. Only your girth, thickness, and width does come into play, but the overall won't come from this. So with this, when you press, notice that I put my elbows back into a set position, come down and up. Notice that I control my negative. Inhale coming down, exhale coming up. You look at my chest, it's activating because I'm getting those biceps to drive into the chest. I think we did 5-6 exercises. I say 5 exercises for chest with a couple of variations of showing you different aspects of the range of motion for pecs. Once again, this is a gym of information. Members that come here, they can ask us questions anytime to get a better understanding of what works for their body structures. And I want this to be a channel or a page of information as well. I thank Garrett again for taking time out this morning to film us and show y'all some cool stuff. And we hope that you guys stick around and keep on coming to see what we're about. You have a blessed day. Cut and dry.